we can share with you what you want to listen. So I want to utilize the 30 minutes rather than go through my presentation. It's more like why you are here. Maybe just briefly, tell us, your name, your business, what do you want to find out from the session. Then I can tailor my presentation to basically address why you are here. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe David, if you might start with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Eric. I run a fairly successful relocation company. The business climate has definitely changed. You could have the world's best fishing rods, best bait,
Yes.
but if there's no one moving, it means nothing.
Right.
And there's a geopolitical climate, there's an internal climate, everything's changed. There needs to be a helicopter view looking down, and you need to understand more than just business to survive this market. You need to do things that are different. So I've already moved and done a lot of different stuff,
Yep.
which is coming to fruition.
Yep.
But more than ever before, I've realised you need to surround with the very best of people to pick up just an incremental bit of advice, which could revolutionise our business and survive it. It's not all about thriving, it's just getting through this period until we work out what's happening. That's the reason why I'm here.
Very good. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. My name is Kashyap Butpati, and I'm a owner of professional valuation services firm called B&A Values. We specialize in property valuation and plant and equipment valuation. And over the last 3 years, we have sort of grew rapidly in sort of COVID time. And before that, I was sort of mainly a one person sort of doing majority of work, and now over the last 3 years, I have 6 to 7 consultants working for me, though they are not sort of full-time employee. But what I got interested in your session was in next sort of a 5 to 10 years time, I want to sort of grow the business and also to make a business in a sort of a format that is more sellable.
Yeah.
When time comes for the retirement, I can easily sell the business. So it's to grow and also to make it sellable as well.
Absolutely. All right. That's good. What about you, please?
Hi, my name is Hitesh. I am from the technology background, but I'm here to. I'm in a very initial stage of the journey of setting up my own IT technology company, primarily in digital product development and delivery. So that's why I'm here and just trying to understand from you as you talk about growth, right? Especially for someone like me who's at a very early stage, moving on into this.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. I think we have a small group, so I think we can be quite interactive here. I just going to share with you how we go about it, and based on our many years of experience working at SME. Okay. I think the statement is quite important. For some of you, most probably, we are actually very proud. We have been nominated as the top 10 strategic planning firm in Australia by Business Review Journal just last month. And some of you would have known that I was nominated as the top 10 business strategies and expert to watch for in Australia in 2021. As all of you know, especially you have building really good business, you've got a lot of 5-star review. They don't come easily. So we are quite proud in terms of our experience, the result that we have got for business owners. A bit of my background, I don't want to go through this. Basically, I did my high school here. I've gone through 4 different universities to equip myself with various degrees: IT, management, accounting, economics, and business research. And my pedigree, I started with Deloitte, which is the global top 4 companies in the accounting and business advisory. I actually the first batch in the Parramatta office, utilizing my combined knowledge there. And I was with GA Group for Australia. When they came to Australia, I actually set up the entire accounting system when they run the government contracts from scratch. In the old days, I was very motivated because every time got a new employee, they pull up the policy and procedure and set up for them in financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So quite a big achievement there. And then I went to AFIS, I helped them to design the franchise system. At that time, franchise started growing. And then Cycle Carriage, I was a general manager, 1.4 billion company in Australia. We import and distribute Hyundai, Audi, and Daimler Chrysler. And there was a light bulb moment. I had a lot of friends in small, medium-sized businesses. You know, we had dinner, we went out and all that. Quite often they said, Eric, life is tough. I said, why? They said, we work like a dog, but we don't get as much return. All right. What I found out is that all of them are very passionate with the business, but they are unstructured. They just go for it, spend most of the time problem solving, putting out fire, and just get the end needs. Whereas all of you know, with large corporation, all of us is strategic-based sort of thinking and methodology. So as a result, I actually formed my own company. The whole concept very simple, is strategic and financial roadmap-based strategy that proven to work for all the large companies. But the difference is how can we implement it with small, medium-sized companies. Right? So just share with you our methodology that proven to work. Most probably some of you would have adopted one way or another, but this was the gap when I formed my company. I knew in terms of small, medium-sized management firm in Australia, they got no idea about this approach. Very piecemeal. They might say, Mike, you know, I want more leads. No problem, let's have a look at the marketing, right? Well, gee, the conversion was so good, no problem, I help you with that. That's not what we say, okay? If you have to look, what we are saying is, okay, stop and think about the big picture. So the process started in your current business situation, right? You're talking about basically what you're good at, very important, your business performance, and what is your business model. Once you understand that, that's the easiest way to start the journey, because you know that's your business. The next one is where we believe we need external people because they have fresh pair of eyes. See, all of you unfortunately get bogged down because you have been in business, you've got certain view about how your industry work, how your business work. When you get external people, we have to look what is under the iceberg and explore that to come up with new business model. So what we will explore from our knowledge and experience is industry trend. What is happening lately? What is the trend of that? We have to look in terms of customer demand and behavior. You know, how do they engage with your service? You know, what are they looking for now? Right? And obviously the other thing is having competitors. Have they actually changed? Right? And if they already changed in the right direction according to the trend and you're still stuck in there, I can guarantee you, you will not be around the next 3 years. You will absolutely possibly disappear because you become irrelevant to your current customer base, right? By not knowing things has changed. Right? The other thing is market positioning, right? You know, I understand, like David, his market positioning is most probably in terms of customer service more like an Audi, right? It's not Rolls Royce because it's expensive, right? But it's good. But Audi, good quality, good performance, is value for money. But it's not sort of in retail, not based on less. Like, you know, you want the cheapest price, let's go, go to his website and ring them up and say, I want the cheapest. People say, well, it's not us. We can't compete with, two people, they don't pay any taxes, got no process, no insurance. We can't compete with them. Okay? So with that methodology, we actually craft a new business model, taking into account the trend, taking into account the shift in customer demand and buying behavior. Very importantly, we have to look at the product or services. Are you selling the right product or service? In other words, is there profit in there to be made? I'll give you a bit of example of how we transform a business using this methodology at the end. And then once we have done that, assuming we say, all right, this is the new business model, this is the type of product or services we will go for, and this is the new buying process that will fit into the buying behavior. And then we say, okay, show me the money. one thing that we are most probably one of the best in management consultancy, not only get your thinking right, then you might say, what the hell does it mean? Are we going to make money? Is the cash flow sustainable? Right? So we actually come up with scenario, having a look at the revenue we're aiming for, what are direct costs, and have a look at all the costs in terms of human resources. We plan what is the mix. Is it going to be contractor and employee? Is it going to be employee based or whatever? We come up with a business model. Normally to ask virtually 7% before we get it right. Maybe the profit is not there. So what we are saying is, why we want to adopt that if the profit is not there? Maybe the cash flow is not sustainable because we pay everybody the next week, and it's B2B. We think it's a lot of money, but they don't pay us until 60 days. So the more you grow, the more you need to pump in the money to finance, your contractors or paying your labor. So we have to look at that and come up with a solution. So the other thing is that SME, this is the difference between SME and large corporation. Large corporation, right? Actually, automotive group or cycle carrier is not really big, 1.4 billion, but we only got 250 people. That's very small. But SME, we are lack of resources, so it's not possible to do everything at once. We always have to look and say, all right, where are the low-hanging fruits? Let's go for the low-hanging fruits. Right, and tackle to make it work. But without forgetting that you got to be holistic, because you're only as good as your weakest link. You are good in marketing, you got a lot of reach, you are good in conversion, but your fulfillment, technical term, is terrible, right? Then you are going to fail because the customer not happy. They put it on the social media now. This company is really terrible. They're supposed to turn up at 3 o'clock, but they turn up at 10 o'clock, and then the people don't know what to do, etc., etc. Right? So I think that is the basically methodology that we propose. I just give you an example. We had a client in trade services, 3 million revenue. Guess what? They owed the bank $300,000 and they made $400,000. Okay. Now within a year, we improved their revenue only by $1 million, but we turned the business around to making $300,000 profit. So we write up the debt from the bank and we turn around $700,000 of profit. Some of you might say, Grace, it's not possible, Eric. You are telling us BS. It's not. Very simple. What we have done is we have looked at the business model. They actually building new houses. Building new houses, when you expect this, you might know, normally take 9 to 12 months. You know what is the gross margin? 10%, 5 to 10%. It's so competitive, right? Because you got project home and everything else. So we have to look at the business model, their strength, what they are good at actually, extension addition. You know what? Only takes 3 months to complete. You know what is the gross margin? Because not many people are good at that. 30%. You think about it. You can do 3 jobs, right, rather than 1, and then your gross margin basically 30% times 3. That's how we turn the business around, right? So what we're saying is that you've got to have a look at the fundamental cash flow. Not a problem, because you know what? With this sort of situation, stage payment. Come to this stage unless you pay, and then the payment is from the bank, so you don't have to worry about bad debt, right? Unless they do that, right, they don't go to the next stage. So the bankers, when they approve their loan, they already got the money there. You just need to prove that we have done the work. The client signed it off, the bank transfer the money. So we also have to look at the business model. Basically think, okay, most of the people, they want to complete the extension edition. No, I don't want to pay you. Leave it there for another 2 years. It's not going to happen. So those are the things that we think that business model is very, very important. If you don't fine-tune the business model that is going to be profitable and sustainable in terms of cash flow, that's why a lot of businesses are stuck. So I think that is most of the very good example. Answering exit, okay? A lot of advisor, but exit is, it's not really strategy. They are talking about, okay, you exit business, you got to have to look at fundamental, you got to scale and all that. That is actually not correct. What you got to think is strategic exit. Yeah? For example, with your business, who will be willing to buy my business, and what we call strategic buyer? Why they want to buy my business? Maybe they only got a building valuation business. Just add on your customer base and your contact, for example. Then you got to think, what would they value? They value certain things, right? Maybe your reputation, maybe your database, maybe your contact, maybe your aligned partners, right? So what we have to look at that is that, okay, we plan to increase the business value and the profitability within 2 or 3 years. So there was a client in wholesale importing and distribution. Okay? The business was valued at $600,000, and they were doing happy about it because I said, you know, our revenue is $3 million. We've been 25 years. Why is only 600? I said, well, it's been valued 600. So what can we do? I said, okay, let's have a look at strategic buyer concept. So within 2 years, we have looked at the area that overseas buyer interested. So we actually invested in property, right? So they import export, they bought a property in the building, right? And then they import the business, we add additional line of spices, right? So the revenue increased, profit increased, they got real property. As you know, some overseas investors, they got money, they want to come to Australia, they want to invest business, and they want to stay here. So which is a significant investor sort of visa. So we got a buyer, they said, oh, it's great, okay, we got to spend $5 million anyway. It was just a mix of business and certain investment approved by government. So you actually got the land property. They love property because they know it's only one way increase. They said, we want to buy the business because all of them making money, growing, and property. They said, well, we can't lose. Right? So you know what they end up with? $1.5 million, right? From 600,000. It's not purely improving the revenue and all that. It's thinking about, look, what would the strategic buyer want? We understand it quite well. Manufacturing now. You got manufacturing land. There's a possibility you can get buyer from overseas for you. You know what they're interested in? Okay, they want to turn it into smart manufacturing. They know Australian government will subsidize that because of their policy. They also know what is valuable is the land. Okay? Which will increase because if they just buy land, right, they most probably may not be able to get a visa. But if they buy the business, including the land, obviously expensive, they can actually fulfill the investment requirement. So that is talking about you look outside the normal, being creative and get experience to have a look at it. Because some of you might have to look at it from traditional way. For us, we don't have to look at traditional way, but we have to look strategically how should we go about it to get business improvement and sustainability, to get business exit and succession. So those are the things that we are discussing. We got several other slides in terms of some of the things we look for in terms of growing your business, exit and all that. But is there any question you want to ask me in this area? Because this methodology is groundbreaking in SME management consulting. I actually did that, created the methodology when I did my doctorate in business administration at Macquarie Uni Management School. The reason is that I had looked at most of you get help. Why still 80% of you fail? Because you know what? The help you get is fragmented. I got cash flow problem. Let's borrow money from the bank. Guess what? The business is actually not profitable. The business model is terrible. Eventually, you are out of money because the bank says, not a problem. Guess what? Real property is best in the security. Eventually, you run out of money because your house get value $3 million. How much can you borrow? At the most, they gave you 70% of that. When you run out of capacity, they say, well, sorry, can't do anymore. You got to repay or repossess your house. Right? So I think it's an interesting methodology that proven to work. I'll give you 2 examples there. I got others that I can go through if you want. Is there any question? Does it sort of help you to think maybe to another way that you can have a look at it, David?
Yeah, look, it makes sense. I did my research on you. All credit to you, Eric. You've obviously really got a lot of tools and resources and experience in the industry. And I think you nailed it on the head. I do what I do very well, and I say that very humbly. And I've realised that the changing circumstances, you need to have a holistic, I like what you've got there, a helicopter panoramic view, and you also need to have a vision to understand what's happening geopolitically and with where we're going in the future as Australia. So it's no longer just about business decisions. You need to be a political analyst. You even need to be a religious analyst. It's a whole combination of stuff, and try to work out how to present ourselves in the marketplace.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, again, so so to be a sort of be on a sort of a growth path, it's not only one aspect can sort of work. It has to be the whole holistic approach, as you and David mentioned, on business strategy, marketing side of a thing, financial side of a thing, and also all the other factors like what's a more profitable business for you. That is more important.
That's very important because if you guys analyze that in terms of the different type of service you provide, the same with you, like relocation, yeah, but you say locally in the state, or is it certain type of client, right? Some of them obviously need more profit than not. Considering now getting human resources quite challenging, you've got to focus on what you have in terms of which area is the most profitable, okay? Because no point you service other area. It would be surprising. I just did analysis from one $20 million company. So Eric, we keep growing, but our profit keep going down. When I analyze based on the service line, where they grow is the area that the margin is low. That's why they can get businesses because nobody want to do it because they make not much money. I said, have a look at this. You actually cannibalizing your profit. You grow the revenue, but the margin is so low. Right? You're actually making less and less overall in gross margin. And the gross margin, is terrible. Or when you talking about potential, that's not there. It doesn't make sense.
No, sorry, I think what I meant is potential entry. So I'm in a very early stage of the business, not the exit. But for me, what makes sense more is, I think separating out a business roadmap and financial roadmap. I think that makes sense because sometimes you think business is everything. So you have to plot it out that how you're going to do business is something, but how you're going to earn money, and then to your point on, where will I get the money for the salary? Because I will not get the payment straight away from the client. Right, so that will take time. But how would I run and maintain that business? So that's something which I need.
100%. The other thing is, we are most probably the best in future-proofing SME. Okay, because that's my background. It's a lot of operation. We always future-proof our business. Otherwise, we disappear. Okay. So we always have to look at risk management and diversification. Virtually, with all our clients, we advise them to diversify by doing this strategy review. We say, okay, with your strength, what other things can you do? Because the reality is, if you focus on one area and some technical shit happened in there, you got wiped out. You could have built your empire of 100 million business. If something happened, like pandemic, if you are in a travel agency, you basically got bloody wiped out, right? So what we are saying is that what else can you do? That you spread your eggs not in one basket, but actually protect it. For business exit, we always say, if your business not going to be run tomorrow, there is no value. So why should I pay $2 million for this business if I think that cheap? Maybe if you don't adapt and show us that you've got a strategy to adapt all day, you'll be around. How can I get my money back? I'm not saying that's what to do, but the logic with exit is why we are special in the area. You got to make sure that your business is going to be around. Right? If the business is not going to be around, you haven't got a methodology and your strategy is all over the place. Nobody will buy because I'm advising my client if there is high concentration of 2 customers, don't buy the business. One of the customers leave, you basically got wiped out. If they only focus on narrow niche, once again, something wrong with the market, you're going to lose all your money, right? So the whole idea is now, we diversify our trade services company. We actually diversify to importing now and wholesale. Right? So hopefully not all of them got wiped out. So rather than just building construction, we are also importing, some accessory. Right? We also wholesale certain things to manage the supply chain concept. So just give you a bit of flavor, like how we think as a leading management consultant in strategic planning. We are very different because of our background. Most of the advisors, most of you part of a chamber of BNI, right? If you ask for help, raise your hand. Maybe you ask for help, 50 people give you emails. we would love to work with you. I'm 100% sure because you got pretty good reputation, you got a lot of contact. But the problem is not the number of people can help you, is how can they help you. They are very fragmented. Right? So that's a challenge. So a couple of other things I think just go through briefly that I promised to deliver in this presentation. 3 common mistakes owners make when they do their business. Number 1, running around, putting out fire, just get things done. We'll be right now. Lack of strategy planning and roadmap, and not adopting a holistic and pragmatic approach to achieve desired objective is a major problem through my 16 years consulting in SME, because the effort is not very focused. I said, look, if you achieve that, what the hell does it mean in terms of your profitable cash flow? Oh, it should be better. I said, should be better, what, 100,000, 1 million? We're not sure. What I'm saying is that you put in time and effort chasing something you don't even know. Right? What if I say, okay, if you achieve that, you're going to lose 200,000? Right? Because you focus on the wrong place. That is a major problem. Neglecting customer feedback and market trends. See, for us, when we work with businesses, we are external eyes. They keep an eye for you. You need to know what the hell is happening. I think some of you will see that I spend about 15% of my time going up there, knowing what the hell is happening in the think tank group, understanding government policy likely to be implemented. We are up there and we think and we say, well, this might happen, what are we going to do about it? So if we are the first organization, anticipate and adapt, you've got first mover advantage. Other people are struggling, they know what to do. Give you an example, 30 degree, why we are flourishing during COVID. We anticipate all the same events. We actually have a weekly meeting, which is unheard of in SME, to work with them closely, because every week there are new challenges. What we say, okay, what is the problem? Let's fix it now. Take action. Sometimes we are wrong, but at least you took action and then you correct it. So we move so fast that we actually make more money than ever. You know why? We work constantly on the business. Alright? So you cannot say, oh, all right, we got a strategy, we plan that, oh, we see everything in 6 months, hopefully everything more. But I can tell you, you'll be bloody surprised when you get nowhere. Right? Just like Apollo 13 going to the moon, you know why? Because the ground control keep telling them how to get there. The accuracy is only 3% during the journey. Without the ground control, people like us keep an eye, we never get there. Obviously, this is very common. When you grow, some of the marketing company actually bring chisel with me. I said, well, marketing sometimes not good. He said, why? I said, are you aware that they actually, sort of growth already? I said, what do you mean? I said, okay, assuming the marketing, where you put in 20,000 in marketing, suddenly you triple, your inquiries. Who's going to answer that? Oh, I think we'll manage. I said, no, that's wrong. If you don't manage that, you're going to burn your leads. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. These people say, hey, here we are, we can help you. Ring them up, nobody answers. They say, what a company, right? Never ring them. And don't forget, resourcialize. You can be on social media and say, well, never ring the company because they never answer, etc. So I think that's very important, and then you've got to have a look. We always say, don't spend money unless the fulfillment is ready, but you've got to have an idea how many more leads you need, what is your conversion rate, based on that, what is the likely volume, and initially how are you going to scale. They say outsourcing, yeah, you just talk to people you have to outsource beforehand. You say, well, I'm growing my business. How do you like in 2 months' time? I may need 20 hours of your time. I might need 3 of you to help me, right? Can you do that? They say, yeah, we can do it. You can't find an organization. It's no good when the time happens. They say, oh, we can't do it. Okay. So I guess it's very important in terms of striking balance between planning, adaptability, and resource management. And this is not the thing that we have been asked all the time. How is the business growth connected to exit strategy? Very simple. If your business is not growing, people are not really interested in buying because they want to get their money back as soon as possible. Right? If They are okay, business going to take them 5 years to get money. First, the business going to give them 2 years. Guess what? Which one will buy? 2 years. You know why? More certainty. 5 years time, you never know what the hell is going to happen unless they are very good in future proofing. Okay? Obviously, profitably is that they are brilliant. You got no profit, why do you buy the business? It's not going to be there tomorrow, why do you want to do business? Right? If they get people like us due diligent, you got no chance. Absolutely no chance. Right? And then we have to talk about strategic buyer. The last one is creating more option for exit. You think about it, you got a management team, you got employees, right? If they know you're doing well, you can future proof your business, you're making money, guess what? You might say, hi David, is there any chance like in 3 years time, I can get a portion of your business? Then you can create maybe management buyout strategy. You can create employee buyout. But they work with you, they know exactly whether you're doing well or not. If you're not doing well, you might say, well, mate, you're my best mate. What about I offer you 80% of my business? He said, I don't want any of your business because it's full of problems. You do the parts of it, money, you're running around. So there are really, really big correlation. That's why we always think that you got to build your business with end in mind. How can you exit your business? Right? In the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 20 years. The challenge with us at the moment is more and more baby boomers are going to exit the business. So the market will be flooded. Unless you have a strategy advance in terms of strategy buyer, would be your management people, your employees, right? You organize that in advance, nothing will happen. Okay. This is very important. If a business mainly built around a personality, how can you exit? So we make sure that your branding, your process on that, not relying on one person. Otherwise, the person is the business. I think a lot of you are the good journey, right? I think a lot of awareness in this, that is quite critical. Tricky area. You've got to be able to scale your business. If you can scale, they'll be interested because they're going to get the money quicker. Is it can be transferred to them seamlessly, like turnkey solution, it's easier for them. And obviously, third one. Unless you have that, exit strategy, if you want to get reasonable outcome, minimum 3 years. If you do it 3 years, you can double, triple your business value that you do it now. Right? That is our experience. And I guess Q&A and thank you. I actually got a bottle of wine for 3 of you, got a chance of 33% to win a million. I'm going to draw the card. And I guess the other thing is, if you guys want a free business health check, which is worth $2,000, just talk to me. Okay, the process is actually quite involved. It's most probably just going to take 3 hours face to face, another 3 hours for me to digest that. We have 80 questions go through all area of business. It's more in terms of where you stand in all area of business. It's worth $2,000. Just drop me a card, you know, that's the card. So thank you. Is there any question? I know it's really past the time and some people will take off, but I've got any question?
Look, I wouldn't mind having a chat with you, and I think there'll be more questions at that time. We can leave that till then if someone wants a chance to ask questions.
All right, and happy to do that. Do you want me to contact you? Contact me?
Yeah, I'll call me. No issue.
Okay. Just give me another one. Thank you. And just give one card as a reminder.
Excellent.
Thank you. I just put. No, I'm going to empty all this first because I'm going to put 3 cards. Okay. All right. So you have filed the presentation.
Yeah.
What you want to know?
Yeah, look, again, so like, so your how you are different than the business which is out there.
We aren't doing the thinking. We are doing the implementation. Right? The example that the other business that we go there once a week. And we virtually all apply minimum twice a month, otherwise we don't take on the engagement because it's no point to leave them, right, to do all the things because they actually need manpower and they need accountability. What we do with them is make them accountable, right? What we are saying is you are investing in us, we are investing in you. So if you are going to be accountable, we are not going to get anywhere, absolutely anywhere. So we don't want to work with you because they say, Eric, man, you talk a lot, but nothing happened. I say, exactly, nothing happened because you haven't done anything. So we actually quite conscious in terms of selecting our client because we trust us. We got, best interest at heart. Virtually, just to let you guys know why we are successful. Virtually, most of our clients, they are happier for us to have skin in the game. And beside the normal retailer, which is much smaller, we actually share the improved profit. Not revenue, doesn't mean anything. It's okay, at the moment, it's this amount. If we can increase the profit by 200,000, if I give you 20,000, I can afford it because I can add another, the high-rated housing, right? So it's measurable in terms of how we work together and produce the result. No result is no good for me, no good for the client because I got inflated, the kind of pissed off.
So your engagement is more like a small retainer fee plus some.
It's it's more like a partnership. You trust us, we trust you. Okay, we know we can work together. Let's do it. Let's be serious. Be accountable. We know all the experience, know-how. Give it a go. But unless we can improve your bottom line, we don't want to be involved because everybody get upset. That's what people never say. We work with BGL. They are bloody costly. No, we are more value producer. We work with you. We want to make more money. That's our reputation. That's what we want to work because they can say testimonial. We say, well, we actually very, very unusual. We back ourselves to the deal. We put our money in our markets.
Yeah.
Which is what you got. You got?
Oh, no,
You want to write something there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a card to say, I think I just want to be fair, right? One that changes, I'll give you my card here, and then you just write your name.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, because we got straight card, you don't want to be biased. Okay.
Is this one of the cards?
There's two, and then that one.
Really? Was that one?
There's somebody else. I think we could interactive session.
Yeah.
Must we share the ball?
I know. Sometimes you get the answers you want better.
Absolutely.
By the way, just introduce Joseph. Joseph is one of our partners. Focus on services.
Hey guys. Thanks, how are you?
I don't know how you do it.
I'm just going to mix it up.
33% change.
DNA values.
Oh, there you are. Lucky guy.
Bottle of champagne.
Perfect. Thank you.
For you.
Thanks very much.
Chris actually back somewhere.
Yeah, I think. There's a gold bag.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Eric. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Nice meeting you.
Best of luck,
Thank you.
I'll give you a quick check for you. No, that's all right. Have a quick check. Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much for that. We obviously spoke many years ago. I was nice and the market opportunity for commerce. We're sitting about, I think we know about the market in 2008.